Alright guys, so I haven't gotten around to this until just now. This cooler right here, this Final Form cooler, who has long since been a World Tournament award on both Global and JP Dokkan, he actually did just get a awakening from the last JP World Tournament. And again, you know, there's been a lot going on. I've just been able to get to actually awakening this guy, and he is quite good. Oops of this guy, I actually will consider rainbowing him. He to any AGL team that he might be on. So, you know, I do look forward to kind of testing out this cooler to the best of my ability. Now, he's only on the one category, the Movie Boss category. You can, like, buff some AGL units big time in the Movie Boss category team, but I do feel as though this cooler is, of course, much better off on just a normal Extreme AGL team. Alright guys, so here's the team that we're going to be using with this new AGL cooler, Dokkan Awaken, the Extreme AGL team. Now, again, sometimes when I show these support type units, it kind of goes over people's head a little bit, but like, a big factor of Cooler's overall output to the team is going to be an increase in LR Majin Vegeta's damage, so just keep that in mind, guys, because Form Cooler, and some people were upset, like, oh, it's just LR Majin Vegeta showing off, like, you're not even showing off the new cooler, and it's like, no, I am. It's Cooler is, like, doubling what LR Majin Vegeta is able to dish out. That's the thing. That's why Cooler is so impressive, is what he's adding to the team outside of just his damage. But even though Cooler is strictly a support type unit, they did give him an interesting little gimmick of his own in terms of this guy. Okay, so, I want to keep Cooler and Rosé on rotation together, and then it can be on a rotation with Cooler and Rosé, and they will be able to really make Majin Vegeta. I don't know how high his attack stat could be, maybe a 3.5 million, just something absolutely disgusting. That's something I'm going to get to see, which I really want to. So it has a high chance to launch 2 additional attacks. And then every single attack he performs, he gets 5% attack added to himself. So he's buffing AGL allies attack and defense by 40%. And then every time he attacks, he gets 5% extra attack for himself. So he could be a very interesting unit. Whoa, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, we are only on an Extreme AGL team right now. So 340k right there as his attack stat. And then, of course, after he builds up a number of attacks, he'll get a lot better. Now, again, if I ever pull enough copies of this guy to rainbow him from the World Tournament banner, again, it could be a little bit of an issue. It could be something that might take a while because that World Tournament banner, you know, they give you so few tickets to summon on there now, and, like, it's going to be very dependent on if he is actually very, very close on those World Tournament banners for if they're, like, a featured unit or unfeatured. So I don't really think it'll matter too much. But for whatever reason, I'm using an Extreme AGL team, you know, maybe Super Battle Road or something. Cooler is going to be pretty fucking useful. Okay, so actually, I think Cooler and LR Majin Vegeta are going to be a very fun rotation. Yes. So let's see what LR Majin Vegeta will be able to do alongside our boy Cooler and Turles. Turles, of course, being the best support type unit in the game. I wouldn't mind if Turles stunned Goku right here, by the way, because I think Goku can be stunned like Goku and Frieza. Ooh, Cooler's attack stat at 500k right there, by the way. That's not bad. And again, we could still raise that higher. Cooler, of course, having the Big Bad Bosses link. You know, once that activates, units tend to look pretty good. Wow, so that's very impressive for a unit that is a support type. Like, he's a support type unit, and for his attack stat to get that high, and then him being able to do additionals the way he can, I'm just very impressed by this Cooler, like, units, in terms of being able to help in events. So I do hope they continue to have these World Tournament cards be pretty good. Because, like, you look, they released the Tech Cell as a World Tournament reward card. He's incredibly good. They released the STR Super Saiyan 2 Gray Saiyaman. He is incredibly good. So, like, I'm definitely going to look forward to seeing how they do this. Okay, so we're going to do... Let me leave Cooler on rotation with LR Majin Vegeta. We can give him this. That will take him to 17 key. I'm actually going to go ahead and use an item here. Just, you know, Extreme AGL. Team is a bit weaker than, like, a normal category team. Okay. So, the attack stat that LR Majin Vegeta gets here is going to be very, very interesting to see. What's Cooler going to take? 100k. Okay. Attack stat, 385,000. Again, Big Bad Bosses was a huge part of how high his attack was before, but every single time he attacks, he is getting a little bit stronger. And LR Majin Vegeta, 3.5! Goodbye, Goku! Goodbye, my boy! 3.5, fair! That's very fair. Again, we're only on a double 120% lead team right here. LR Majin Vegeta, he is quite an impressive unit. I remember back in the day when people thought LR Majin Vegeta was shafted. He's not. He's pretty good, let's just say. Yo, 3.5. Again, Cooler was giving Majin Vegeta 40% attack. Turles was also giving Majin Vegeta 40% attack. So that's why Majin Vegeta was able to look very sexy in between the two of them and output quite a bit of damage. That was a lot of damage. That's not bad. That is not bad. They got to keep giving, like, the two typings especially, I think, that need massive buffs are Extreme AGL and Extreme Tech. Like, they gotta just keep fucking pumping out the units for those two typings. Like, we know about the Transforming Boo potentially coming. And I really, 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 really want that Transforming Boo to be either AGL or Tech. I think it would be very beneficial if he was an AGL unit. That would help buff a team that, you know, really that many, like, stupid strong units. Oh, he's stunned. Yeah, 2.6 million still just linked up with Cooler. I left him with Cooler there because Cooler is giving LR Majin Vegeta, they got the 2 speed from, they have the 2 key from Shattering Limit, which is very helpful. Okay. Whew, man, I'm still a little taken back. Okay, I'm going to use an Android 8, and then we should be good in terms of item usage. It's just that my Rosé does not have any dupes in him. I did finally pull a dupe, but he's not actually in him. Yeah, we're actually going to do... I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we'll leave Turles in the first slot. Super 17 to take the most hits right there. He should actually be able to do some pretty decent damage here linked up with Turles. Okay, so it's a good thing I put Turles in the first slot over Rosé. Rosé would have taken a lot more damage than Turles here. Only 43k. Yeah, we do have the Icarus active. I do have an Android 8 active as well with some extra defense. 200, very, very good. 1.6 on a double 120% team. That's not bad, clearly. And then Rosé, yo, Rosé is almost at a 1 million attack stat, and the man has, like, no dupe system investment in there. Like, I've got him at 55%, and that's it. So, very impressive by him. Okay, so we'll have LR Majin Vegeta go first. Presumably, that would pretty much be enough to take out this Goku. I'm actually tempted to use another item here, and I will. Yeah, I'm going to use an Icarus right here. Using a lot of items. That's not... That's not... That goes to show Extreme AGL. Definitely not keeping up with some of the other typings. Because, like, I know I could go through this with, like, Super Int or Super Physical and easily just destroy. I think it's just because we're using a couple units that don't have dupes in them. So they did get that one incredibly impressive turn where Majin Vegeta had a 3.5 million attack stat. We did see Cooler with a 500k attack stat. So Extreme AGL coming along a little bit better. Hopefully, again, the new Boo is an AGL unit. They definitely need another top tier option because Turles is fantastic, but Turles can't carry the team by himself. You know, he does need, he's a support. Now, like Turles, like him giving his massive 40% attack buff to like the LR androids, it's like whoopee. Like, we need him to, you know, have a big, strong, like, LR cell. Like, another LR on this Extreme AGL team would help out a lot. Actually, the next LR really could be Extreme AGL, by the way. But anyway, skill is SCR type enemy attack and defense minus 40%. So, I know some people did manage to beat Super Battle Road with Super Android 13 and his leader skill. Did he? I think it was his was lower. You can kind of cheese Super Battle Road with that. Again, I don't know if this one would work. And Buhan and Zamasu, who can all heal, whereas Extreme AGL doesn't really. I mean, you do have Toa, but that's only on JP. So I don't know that it would work. Attack is the Supernova, which does supreme damage and greatly lowers defense. His passive skill, Complete Invasion, is AGL types attack and defense 40%. Then he has a high chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks. And then he gets 5% attack from each attack performed up to a maximum of 50%. So he does, but, you know, on an Extreme AGL team, which is pretty much all he could do right now, Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, and Shatting Limit. So he does have a really good link set. 12 key multiplier, 145%, which is very high, by the way. So that's one reason multiplier of 145% has a lot to do with that. And then he only has one category right now, Movie Boss team, where, like, he only is buffing AGL units, right? So, like, you know, you're going to have, like, Turles, Great Ape Turles, maybe AGL, be full of those type of units to really try him over there. And that would be a much nerfed Big Bad Bosses. Well, not Big Bad Bosses, but Movie Bosses category team. So, I don't know how much I would actually like trying that, but maybe that's a video for a later day. But